So it turns out, Staff of Completion is not only good in Planeswalker decks because of the proliferation, but because we can do things like this, where we activate our Planeswalker's ability the first time, then destroy it with Staff, and then activate our ability the second time. Now this does require a lot of mana, but this still seems pretty insane to me, and it's an easy way to get double activation of a Planeswalker ability. Let's get right into the gameplay. So here we go, we're up against Sauron the Dark Lord, and already they're hitting our arcane signets. Hitting our ramp, they're scared of us playing Quintorious on turn 4. So we're going to play Lilia, which exiles a card, which is great for our commander. Then they're going to blow up Lilia because they're scared of it. So my initial thought when Quintorious was spoiled was it was a little high costed for a commander that wants to play things from exile. And I thought it'd be kind of difficult to protect it. And it can just get removed pretty easily by a lot of different spells. But after playing this deck, I realized just how powerful Quintorious can be, especially with all these new cards that we've gotten. For example, the new Red God from Ixalan is pretty amazing. He basically says whenever we cast a spell from exile, Quintorious is going to deal 4 damage instead of the 2. I do believe we still gain 2 life though in that case. And we're about to find out here. Once we play a card from exile. So we're going to +1 Quintorious here. They're going to hit their Fabled Passage, and they're going to play Witch King of Angmar, which can make itself indestructible. So that's kind of bad because 1, we don't have flyers. 2, we don't have things to deal with indestructibility in our hand yet. So that's why I get rid of the board wipe in our hand. I tried to get rid of it with the Giru Embercoiler, but I realized that Realmcloak Giant is actually 7 mana, and we don't have anything in our deck that's higher than 7 mana to seek for with the Giru Embercoiler. So that's why we're going to play the Showdown of the Scalds, which is absolutely amazing in this deck, by the way. Then we're going to discover 3. We're going to hit Valakut Exploration, which is pretty nice. It's going to activate the Prowess ability on Giru. Then we're going to play Geological Appraiser, which is allow us to discover 3, which is a spell from exile. We get Soul Partition, which we can exile the Witch King of Angmar, making it cost 2 more as well. Then we play Bonecrusher Giant from exile thanks to Showdown of the Scalds. And we basically just did 8 damage there with the Bonecrusher Giant and Quintorious. GG's. We're up against Zada, Hedron Grinder. And if you guys know anything about Zada, it's you gotta remove him, or he'll just take over the game. You guys should know that by now. And if you don't know that, you do now. Basically one of those commanders where you just have to keep him off board, and if you keep him off board, then you pretty much win the game. They play their own Giru Embercoiler, which is a great card, by the way, if you guys have not crafted it. Really sets up our Quintorious deck pretty well. And a lot of people don't remove it for some reason. I don't know why. We're going to play the Staff of Completion because every Planeswalker deck has to have the Staff of Completion. We're going to get rid of this board wipe and our battle there. And the reason I get rid of the battle is because I plan on alting Quintorious if I can, and I can just get it back by that means. There's also the fact that I kind of feel like we're going to need this Realmcloak Giant if the board state gets too big. So they're going to put some stuff in exile with Feldon because it dies. It's going to go to our turn. We're going to play our Quintorious. We're going to make a 3/2. We get the Swords to Plowshares up. They're not going to trigger Giru Embercoiler. We're going to Swords to Plowshares the Goldhound. And then we're going to block the Giru, which I totally forget that they have the Infuriate in hand. So that is totally on me. They're going to play Renegade Tactics so they can draw a card. You know, just doing the Zada things. We do hit a land there, which is very nice. We're going to make another token off Quintorious. Then we're going to play Sulfum to double that Quintorious damage. The Faithless Looting is going to be good here, but we hit 2 lands. I'm going to end up discarding the land in the big score, which might come back to bite me in the butt. I hope not. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Zada come out here in this turn, but they instead play Bonecrusher Giant. I was expecting a Zada. Well, anyways, we get to alt our Quintorious, which is nice. I'm gonna exile these 3 cards. We get 3 red mana. And I don't even pick Battle of Kaldheim for some reason. I don't know why that reason was. Anyways, we're gonna play Ohir Oxynal, the red god. And we have Sulfum plus Ohir Oxynal. That's just gonna be insane. I think we're going to end up doing 8 damage per Quintorious trigger. Oh, I forgot about the burn down the house that was coming. Well, we can make Sulfum indestructible at least, so we can save him. We're going to have to discard the board wipe that we have. All is well in this part of the neighborhood, I say. Because we could just play Quintorious again. And this time we're going to discover 4. We hit the Glittering Stockpile. And this is where it gets really crazy. Then we play Breaches. New card from Ixalan. Going to do some damage with Sulfum. They're going to finally play Zada with 2 cards in hand, which terrifies me, actually. So we're going to swing, get a card off exile with Breaches. It's a land. Of course they don't block. We're going to +1 Quintorious, and this is what you guys see in the intro. And we're going to tap the mana for Nykthos, destroy our commander. I was pretty proud of myself when I made this play. I said, how can we get the most value of what's on the board? I kind of saw this set up. Kind of made me shed a tear for how much of a pro gamer I am in Magic. That was a joke, by the way. No, but this play was really solid for us. We got lucky that we hit a braid off the top. Kind of ended up solidifying the game for us right there and then. So they try to get a board state. We end up hitting Soul Partition off the top of our deck. And we Soul Partition the Rahilda because it has first strike. And I think that's when they scoop. Zada is a tough opponent, but GG's. Alright, we start the game off against Greasefang. First card played is Elaborate Fire Cannon. I've never seen this card in my life. But we don't care about it. We're going to throw the possibility. Draw some cards. And we get some land and a board wipe. Goes to them. Season Hollow Blade comes out. And we're just going to Soul Partition. Soul Partition has come in clutch so many times. I can tell you that it's definitely worth putting in your white decks. We're going to play Sulfum. Try to get some damage doubling going on. But they destroy it with a Heartless Act, unfortunately. We're going to play our Quintorious. We're going to +1 get a token to protect Quintorious. They hit their Fable Passage, going to get their white source. Greasefang comes down. They're going to bring back Untethered Express. And Greasefang is really a one-hit wonder, man. All you got to do is just either exile their graveyard or take care of Greasefang. That's really it. The only problem against Greasefang decks is that board wipes tend to not really work. They work just to get rid of Greasefang, but that's about it. We're going to Giru Ember Coiler. We're going to hold up some mana. Then we're gonna Faithful Absence to activate the prowess ability of Giru Ember Coiler while also taking care of Greasefang. They're gonna end their turn. We're gonna play March of Reckless Joy, try to get some stuff in exile while Quintorious is out still. And they just scoop because their doom is inevitable. So we're up against Yorn, God of Winter, and these decks can have a lot of advantage just based off the amount of mana they can produce. So there's a lot of good stuff in these colors. So we're going to Soul Partition Yorn. Once again, Soul Partition for the win. We play the Faithless Looting, get rid of 2 cards, and our opponent's a little salty there. Sorry about that. We didn't even take a long time there. I was just trying to plan the right play. You really got to plan your plays against blue decks, I'm going to tell you that right now. So they're going to play Yorn. We're going to play Quintorious. Make a 3-2, so that's a good blocker. Especially since they have to attack. But they play a fight spell, obviously, because it's a pretty good card for Yorn, not going to lie. Then they play Joint Exploration, try to get some more mana. Then they're going to swing at Quintorious, untapping all their snow permanents, leaving up 5 mana open. We're going to activate Quintorious, make a token, and we're going to play Lilia, the Blade Reforged. Since it can't be countered thanks to Cavern of Souls, we're going to swing, put a card in exile, Lilia triggers. They're not going to block, obviously. We're going to play this Mind Stone from exile. Quintorious is going to trigger. And then they're going to play Go for the Throat on our token. I don't know why they just held that up and they didn't target the Lilia. Opponent says your go, remember that? And they're taking forever to figure out what they want to do. Obviously, you guys didn't see the whole time because I ended up editing it, but you know. So they play Silver Scrutiny, which gives them a lot of advantage, and then they kill our Planeswalker. They hit a Duress, and they don't hit anything because they can't. And they just play this elf that untaps Snowlands. No problem there. We're going to play Sulfum. Try to get some damage doubling going on here. We're going to play Burgi, because Burgi can help us pop off too. They're going to play Cultivate. Get a lot of mana here. And remember when your opponent said your go? Seems like they're taking forever trying to figure out what they want to do. I'm just saying, man. Don't say your go and then you taking forever. That's just me. We get hit with a Cyclonic Rift. I kind of had a feeling they had like a Cyclonic Rift or a River's Rebuke there. So I wasn't really too worried. We had enough mana where we can kind of restabilize. So I wasn't really mad about it. Burgi triggers from that Mind Stone, and then we're going to play Bonecrusher Giant on the elf, or we're going to stomp the elf rather. Then we play Guardian Idol. We're getting all that Burgi mana. They're going to play Binding, of course, because they have all the removal in the world. They're going to swing, untap their snow permanents. Play Vastwood Surge for the kick cost of 8. It's pretty insane, actually. We're going to play our Quintorious again. And we're going to +1 and make a token. Not too exciting, huh? There's a reason for that. They're going to try to get some more advantage. They had all those cards earlier, and they really couldn't do anything. They're going to attack, untap all their stuff. We're going to block, no worries. And so now we've got Quintorious. We've got cards in our hand. We've got things in exile. We can also discover, which we are. We're going to hit Invasion of Kaldheim. And you guys need to put this in your Quintorious decks. Craft this card for this deck because it is amazing. So it puts all the cards in our hand into exile. So now we can just start playing our things from exile. We play Sulfum from exile. Now everything is going to do 4 damage from exile thanks to Quintorious and Sulfum. I end up getting Lightning Bolt here because Lightning Bolt's going to end up doing 6 damage. And that's going to be pretty much our game winner if we can. But opponent scoops, and that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Just want to give a quick shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys so much. And if you would like to become a member, hit the link down in the description below.